Entrepreneur, the biggest challenge you face is mindset because you have been sold a bag of lies from the industry that you are watching as you jump into the pool of entrepreneurship. In today's episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message, I want to talk about the 6 biggest lies you've been told and flip them around to help you reset expectations of what it will be like to build a business, what it will be like to amplify your marketing message, and to create that high level of impact and high level of income in your journey as a business owner. I often say to people, when I started last year, this was a very big shift in my business. I was tired of all the wrong advice out there. I was tired of all the imperfect expectations we were setting of ourselves. And I felt like the wrong conversations were being had. It's one of the precursors to this journey of actually launching this podcast, because it has been my mission to correct those expectations, to give you clear, simple, direct advice to help you build roadmaps so you can create better decision making so that you can see consistent client growth in your business. And so here it is. If you're a new entrepreneur, I want you to listen up carefully. I want you to tag and share this episode with others. And I want you to take a giant deep breath after we tackle them to say, wow, that just makes things a whole bunch more simpler moving forward from this day forward. So the first is that you get to define success for yourself. And success is not a destination as a business owner. You don't solve a finish point on the runway. Your runway is simply extended through different parts of your journey. And so I want you to ask yourself, have you ever thought about you personally, what your measures of success are for your business? And I want you to know that it isn't just about the end goal. It's so important to redefine success on the journey, recognizing that some seasons are Mach 10 hair on fire, and other times staying in the game is the biggest win you could possibly imagine. What is key is that you are developing in the road. You're building skills and capabilities, and you're gaining clarity, which leads to confidence, which leads to more predictable results. And when I first started my business journey, I think one of the most important gifts I was given was a 5-year business journal. And this was something a friend of mine from the States had sent me when I kicked off this new business venture of mentoring other peers to create business success. It's a fascinating journey, and I'm many years into it now because we overestimate what we can do in the short term, and we underestimate the impact, the compound effect of the cumulative actions. Choosing to stay in the game, choosing to build trust, choosing to keep momentum moving has been the catalyst for where I am right now in my business. And it's interesting, as I take time at the end of every day, and this book has traveled all over the world with me, to reflect what's gone well, what has been a challenge, and where is my emotional mindset at? Because the hardest 6 inches of business is managing these ones, the 6 inches between your ears and your brain and belief system. So let's take you through the 6 biggest myths and lies you've been told so that we can light them on fire and start a new page. The first one is this, is that you must work hard to create success. And that hard means hustle culture. It means working 24/7. It means constantly in grind mentality. And I will tell you, I see it everywhere. The burnout factor of an emerging entrepreneur is epidemic right now. And it's because we think that we must do it all in a nanosecond, and we must do it all on our own. And particularly you women, my peers, my sisters, I will tell you, stop trying to do it all yourselves. It is not helping you reach the goals you seek. But we are surrounded by people who work hard, that we would not define as success. So to be clear, check your expectations. Hard work in and of itself does not equal success. It is about effort on the right things. And truthfully, from day one, you won't know what the right things are. So the answer is not more work throwing spaghetti at the wall. I want you to distill the fact that you need to shift from hustle and hard work to effort on the right things. And if you do not know what the right things are for your business, then subscribe to this podcast. We're going to give you the roadmap. Come be part of the webinar that I run twice a month in my business, which is a free workshop. It's 1 hour of a live interactive experience with me, who's going to show you how to build success, how to scale and attract clients consistently without the complicated tech, without the complicated and expensive big budgets. How is a solvable problem? But the answer to where you seek is not hustle in and of itself. It is focused effort on the things that will move the needle. So to be clear, check your workload. More of the same is simply going to lead you to burnout. And I want, please, for you to get off that train. The second thing that we've been told is the goal line, which is a complete and utter lie, is that 6 figures is the measure of success. 10K months, 6 figures is the one that we hear everywhere. And it seems that because we hear it everywhere, that must be what everybody is achieving. It's not, in case you didn't know. In fact, this is a fascinating statistic. 12% of entrepreneurs reach the 6-figure mark, and only 2% are at that $1 million level. So if that's true, how come so many people are saying to you, I know how to do it? Like, anybody else call BS here? I will tell you that 6 figures is not the measure of success. It is just a milestone. The same way that the first $1,000 is a milestone, the first $10,000. And to me, when I'm working with clients, I say very candidly, and I mean it 100%, I do not care what amount of money you want to make. Your numbers are your numbers. What I want to know, when you set that goal line of financial resources, recognizing that profit is not the same as revenue, what you keep at the end of the day is what matters most. And secondly, whatever number you achieve, I want you to ask yourself with confidence, how do you feel about the answers? What did it cost you to get there? Can you repeat it? And was it worth it? Because it isn't about hitting a high water mark. Most of my clients are like me, type A personalities, high-driven achievers. And so hitting the mark isn't the issue. With any kind of tenacity, you can hit the level. The question is our biggest doubt, and there was something in an episode I talked about earlier, that fear and terror of success. If you haven't seen that episode, go find it. It's a really valuable one. We fear not hitting the high water mark. We fear staying at it, maintaining, and moving beyond it. But that loop leads us right back into problem myth number 1, which is hustle, hustle, hustle. It's not the right way to create repeatable success. 6 figures is just a goal line. It is not even necessarily your goal line, and very few people are getting there. And if you want to work with a mentor who's got there, me personally, who has helped hundreds of business reach a lot of revenue, not all of them have been successful, and that's important to know too. I will tell you that you've got to know how hot's the fire, how do you handle adversity, and most business coaches that are out there simply haven't hit that milestone. So be careful what kind of bag of goods you're investing in. But 6 figures is not the goal line. You get to choose your number. You get to choose, is it worth it? Can I repeat it? And how did I feel about getting there that way? Figure it out for yourself and recognize that not all seasons are inclines. Not every month goes up, 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 up. And when you hit a 0, you do need to understand what's gone on to create that and take any course corrections you want, or really recognize that different seasons will have different financial goals, and you need to sit in integrity with that and choose it for yourself. This is your business. You are the engine. Number 3 is the belief that social media has created, that followers are the goal line, vanity metrics are the goal lines, subscriber counts, downloads, things like that. I will tell you candidly, followers do not equal sales. I can't tell you how many people who've come to me to work with me who have had huge social media presence and do not have a viable business. The opposite is also true. I have lots of clients that have 0 social media presence or 100 followers or less, and they have very successful businesses. If you ever hear from a marketing agency or you're approached like I am 10 times a day by your followers, run for the hills. It is not about the leads. A follower is not a lead, and every lead is not equal. Qualified leads, a small audience of the right people, will be a bigger accelerator to your business than simply having bots in your ecosystem. And right now, there's a lot of data integrity that's really changing follower counts, especially on platforms like LinkedIn, where people have suddenly seen their counts drop, which is fantastic, I'll be honest, because they're taking out the artificialness of it. You can grow your business with a small audience if you have the right people in the room. And that's exactly why the first foundation we tackle in the Business Scale Accelerator Mentorship, which is my mentorship coaching program, it's a one-to-one high-touch program. We say, who do you want to serve? How do we spark curiosity and build an audience of buyers? And how do we get buyers moving forward? Because only buyers lead to sales, and the right sales will create value, which means more profit to create the lifestyle you want. It is that elegantly simple. So number 3 is that followers do not equal sales. Number 4 is the belief that because you see value in your offers, that everybody else sees value in your offers, and therefore everybody's your buyer. It's not true. So many people get lost in the sea of sameness, thinking everybody needs what they have. To be a buyer who says yes to your offer, you need to be understanding this really big distinction. Yes, I value it. I am prepared to invest in it, and I see it as a critical, non-negotiable priority for today. If you do not have all 3 of those things, you do not have a buyer. And you do not have a buyer today. And if you want to nurture a relationship so that one day there'll be a buyer, fantastic. Just recognize that runway has a cash flow problem. And you need to have other ways to shorten discovery to the yes. You can create a really successful business with a very small group of people, especially if you're working in the service-based industry, because capacity, high quality delivery of results, and value creation has a different ecosystem. I want you to be thinking about, when I say to clients, pick a lane, I'm not talking about niching in the way that you traditionally hear about talked about on marketing platforms. Who's your client avatar? I say to people, pick your lane. What result do you want to be known for? Result, not program or the how or the structure. I say the result, because the result is the lane you pick. We then look at the strategies around building an audience, mastering the message to get them moving, and thirdly, making the offer that sets a value creation around a result in play. You can choose any strategy you like. You can choose any tactic you like. If you get known for the result and you are compelling about messaging it and being visible about it, people will come to you and say, I might not be exactly what you do, but I really want what you offer. Would you talk to me about it? That puts a beautiful opportunity in front of you to choose your clients. But everybody's not your clients. And you are not for everybody. So the more you can stand in your authenticity, someone had said to me recently, your naked authenticity, the more easily you will pull the right buyer, the more you will repel the tire kicker. And I will tell you, this is an art that is learned through time, conversation, and implementation. Just because you valued it doesn't mean it's a sellable asset that somebody else will value as a priority and be prepared to invest behind. So recognizing and bridging that gap is really an important part of the piece that sets you up for long-term success. Number 5 is that people will simply sign up to your programs and services because you've got cute graphics and you're on social media. Oh my God, this one is still so pervasive. It makes me crazy. Nobody makes a buying decision, or very, very few people, okay, asterisk to the lawyers, very, very, very few people will buy based on your social media. Social media is a reinforcement tool. If all of it took was for you to just post a cute graphic on social media to be a millionaire, we would not see 12% hitting 6 figures. We would not see only 2% hitting that milestone. So wake up. You can choose social media or not. You must be visible, but you need to recognize what is the complement of communication that leads to the yes, because the post itself isn't it. It is just one element. And earlier in this podcast, there is a great episode I want to direct you to, which is about the 4 types of content you need to be creating, regardless of platform, so that you can curate the movement. And the movement of the right people to get to the yes is going to be how you build your client conversion rate to a high percentage. It actually is where you get to choose when to present an offer, when to accept a yes, and when to add capacity based on the lifestyle you're wanting into your business. But clients will simply not show up in droves because you posted on social media, and truthfully, you also don't need to be on social media 80 times a day. Understanding the right quality of content, a mix of the right communication conversations is what is needed. And there's a formula for that, and you can choose the speed at which you do it. Don't let anybody mislead you here. That is a myth and a lie you need to bust. The next one I want to talk about is the fact that you think and have this expectation that you will have it all figured out from day one, and you will get there on your own. Entrepreneurship in itself is a lonely journey because you must be your own engine, but you do not need to be your only fuel source. You will not have all of the skills, knowledge, capabilities, and confidence to get to your dream from day one. That's why it takes time to build momentum. And the more time you invest and the more mistakes you make and the more hurdles you encounter where you say, I am not quitting on this dream, the more likelihood you will have of creating your success. But you create it. You don't have it in a nanosecond. And so I want you to just simply recognize that the onus is on you. While you have the vision, you must build the capabilities to get there. And the accelerator that is around you is by modeling other people who have what you want. Do not take advice and let the wrong people rent space in your head that don't have walked your walk, that do not live in the world of business, that don't live the lifestyle in integrity in the way that you want to do it for yourself. And you do not have to follow anybody else's path. There are strategies, there are roadblocks, there are obstacles, but there are also fundamentals. In any business, to create any business success, you need to know 3 building blocks happen. Building an audience of buyers, it's an ever-needing opportunity in your business. Number 2, you need to create movement. That is the focus of marketing. It's not the tactic, it's the movement that's key. And you need to make offers that create value. And if you want to see more success, you need to build the skills, knowledge, and capabilities to do that. That's what I offer in the Business Scale Mentorship Program. That is eyeball to eyeball brainstorming. That is building you sales, marketing, operations success. It is about inspiring people to create movement, whether that is clients towards you or team against your vision. And sometimes that's even both. But you need to know and plan to equip yourself. Because for somebody to trust in putting their money in your pocket, they have to believe your skill set is solid. It can't be hesitant. The same way that you wouldn't go and do surgery with a surgeon who never invested in the training and development, start investing in yours. It's really, really an important thing. The final piece of the myths that I think really hold us all back is this. I need to have a finished product that is launched in order to be seen as a legitimate business. And we spend so much time building the programs, the services in our own head, in our own thinking spaces, that we don't recognize that that is the cart before the horse. I know I personally made that mistake. I spent $10,000 to launch a program that I never sold. It was a pretty important lesson. I have 0 regrets about learning it because I would not be where I am without it. And I do great fundamentals and really learn from what I created. But you can't launch if you have not built an audience if you want to see sales success. And so not building an audience, not validating a minimal viable product, not working in conjunction with all the ecosystem moving is a mistake. Because sales is your number 1 priority. Creating value and being able to deliver results go hand in hand. And that starts from day 1. You don't build it and hope they will come. That's the Kevin Costner Field of Dreams business strategy. It's not very effective. It's a Hollywood movie for a reason. It's an escape from reality. But if you want to create a real success story for your business, I want you to shift out of these myths. Blow them out of the water. Get them out of the head trash. Mine those 6 inches in your brain. Hustle is not the answer. Effort on the right things is. 6 figures is not the goal line. How much profit you keep at the end of the day will support your lifestyle. So think about your lifestyle and set your numbers accordingly. It is not about followers. It's about building the right audience. You need to understand what is the lane you're picking in terms of the result you seek, not industry, age, demographics, and the avatar that the rest of the marketing world has told you is what you need. Clients will not move for you simply because you post on social media. You need to have a compelling storyline that is orchestrated, because your client will never pay you because you're cute. They will never pay you because you've got great graphics. And they will pay you for your time. They will pay you for the result. Not enough of us are talking about the results. And that's why we have crickets in our programs and services instead of a full roster and a wait list. You do not possibly expect yourself to have all the answers from day one. Invest from day one in your learning and development and model behavior with people you know are walking their talk, can guide you to get there, and have had an open conversation about the adversity and the real life stories of getting there. I've created $1 billion in revenue. I have a lot of knives in my back. I've seen everything from great success stories to complete and utter meltdowns. I've seen businesses start and get funding. I've seen them evaporate all that funding on a huge burn rate. I've led great people and I've hurt people along the way too. I'm a mentor who will walk with you through the adversity to get you there. And we together will encounter new problems too. The final one is this: build your audience from day one. The audience of buyers is what you need to create marketing success, to create sales success, to create the impact you want, and to create the predictable client growth. I hope this has been illuminating. This is the conversation that you're not hearing from other gurus in the marketplace. And I am not a guru. I'm a peer. I'm a peer who's building a business, who's helping other people build businesses because I keep being asked to help you. This is the roadmap. Flip the switch. This has been another episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message. I am your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. I am a mentor. If you're looking for guidance and you want to create predictable client growth and you want to help get the skills developed to build an audience, move them to predictable yeses, ask me about the Business Scale Mentorship Program. Use this podcast as a resource. Subscribe and tag your bestie in business. We need to get the right conversation started, because truly everything you want is on the other side of fear. You must be your own engine, but don't be your own fuel source. Collaborate, connect, lean in, and go make it happen. I'll see you all on our next episode.